Hello and welcome back. I'd always thought that these wagons would look good with the Black Five with these girder loads, so it seems the Black Five was out on the railway. It was a good excuse to do that. So we'll come back to these wagons in a moment, but we've got the Princess Royal in the station, which I'm intending to bring around to the inner line. Let's have a pan round here. So a gorgeous Princess Royal. We saw this running in last week's video, sitting there with those maroon coaches from the early 60s. I'll put the numbers of those in the bottom of the screen there. I've just got this week as well. This post office van came from Elaine's Trains. Just spotted it on her website. Thought we'd better have that. Let's just have a quick look underneath there, see if we can catch that in the light. Very difficult to read that. It's sort of barely etched into the metal. So we've got double O Dinky. I can't read the rest of that. I think that's is it Royal Mail van and the Meccano Limited in England down there. Very difficult to read, but gorgeous looking thing. So possibly had some printing on the side there. You can see the yellow is just about legible there. It's all gone. Lovely bars and grill on the back window there. Again, sort of there's an element of yellow just left in there, but not quite. It's definitely seen some playtime and looks like it's got a headlamp out, doesn't it? So it's lost that sort of silvery spot from the headlamp on the one side there. Gorgeous looking tyres though, aren't they? They really look the business. So we'll pop that back down there. And we'll get the Princess Royal underway. I've left the controls behind me. Let's just grab those. So not quite looking where I'm going there. So we'll apply a bit of power here. And the route should already be set to take it round to the inner line. See if we can get over the top of it a little here. See the screw down the chimney there. I must move that track rubber. There's going to become a point where I want that, and I forget where it is because it's not immediately obvious. So I'm just going to put the controls down here and we'll see if we can come in reasonably close to this as it comes through the diamond crossing. See, absolutely effortless. It's those lovely solid wheels on this model. Sort of right at home on this track work. Let's stand back now and we'll watch that come around. I'm just dancing over the cables on the floor here for a moment. And walking on the squeaky floorboards at the same time. So let's take some power out of that now. There we go. I think we're safely away from the points there. I don't think we'll have any trouble with that. We'll just pop the controls down. So I've got the railway all set up as one today. We're just going to run the one item at a time, I think. So I want to change this point here. So that's going to... That'll do the other end as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, so that'll do the far end there. So ideally now if I apply power, everything stays still. Yeah, there we go. So let me just change a point while it's in mind. So otherwise I'll forget when I start talking. So I want this blue one to open out onto the outer line. So that one will go curved. Actually, we can see. Actually, I'll close that one again. If I come around there, we can see the appropriate signal, so that should go red when I change that to curved. There we go. So let's just get back to the models. So I know we had the Black Five out recently, but I think I'd always had it in mind I would run these sort of wagons with this. So Black Five R.859. This particular model from sort of 73, 75. There are other versions of it as well. If you want to see the inside of this one, just have a look back. I think it's last week's or the week before's video. In fact, I'll leave a link in the description box below, as now I'm doubting when it was. So yeah, let's have a look further along. So we've got these wagons. These are R.242. So I think they first showed up in the catalogue in 61, and the variations available one way or another up until 73. So I think the base wagon was available by itself as to start with, and it didn't come along with these loads until 72, 73, right at the end of the range of the time in the catalogue. Although the bases of the wagons, the grey part, I think these featured in the NATO wagons, and the battle space wagons were used as a basis for some of those wagons. So a fairly, not complex is the right word I'm thinking of, interesting life in the catalogue it has, sort of used for this, that and the other. So what have we got on the end there? We've got the brake van on the end. We've seen those plenty of, or this one plenty of times before, R.636, 67 to 65, this long, 67 to 75, the long wheelbase brake van like that. So it could also be numbered R16 or R016, I believe. A couple of numbers available on that one. So let's give this some power. We'll run this around the railway, and we'll bring it. Ideally, what we'll do, we'll bring it to here and bring it to a stop, and then we'll put the Princess. We'll put that back on the outer line. So let's give that a go. So we'll add some power. Through the crossover. It's quite an interesting overhang these wagons have. Let's see if we can come up higher. See how it overhangs the rails, especially when it comes through the curves. I've got that on the points. So it must be quite well thought out in its design. So we'll just run that around here. Hear the odd click and clatter as it comes over the various bits of point work. There we go. We'll stop that there. Now, let's just see if we can throw some points. So if I throw this point now, what we'll do, we'll seal the Black Five. So curved there. So let's just see where we're going to go with the Princess. So if we go back around there, we need to change this one. So let's go curved with that one. Excuse me, moving at speed here, so we need to move the blue one here near the post office van. That needs to go straight. And then the one next to the mallard there. So that one needs to go curved. And the one hiding over the elevated track, that one also needs to go curved. So ideally the Princess now will come back round to the outer line. So we'll grab the controls. Oh, these elastic bands, these were originally on the wagons. Let's just have a look here. So these were holding the girders on the wagons. Well, the black ones were. These ones had given up the ghost altogether. Look, they'd gone black where they're in contact with the wagon, I think, and broken long before I got them. Let's have a quick look over the boxes. Let's grab the boxes here. So one's in a Triangle Hornby box with a BT sticker on it. It did have a price ticket on it at some point, but somebody's done a good job of peeling that off, sadly. It would have been nice to know what that original price was marked at. And there we got the info on the box. R.242 BR Trestrol Wagon with two girder load. So the girder load is from the Triangle Hornby stations from the early 70s. If you have a look at the insert picture there. So make quite an interesting load. I wonder, just looking around the factory, wondering what they could put on there. There's the back of the box. So, and the other one's in a Hornby Railways box. So these wagons were right at the period with the changeover from Triangle Hornby to Hornby Railways. And then we've got the, oops, I'm going to drop that. It's quite difficult sometimes looking in the camera and planning where you're going to move something. I was thinking about turning that over so we could see the other side of the box. So let's just pop that down there. So no idea whether there was a original elastic bands, whether they were originally on them from the factory, or whether they're ones somebody else has had on. I suppose they would have had elastic bands at some point, but elastic bands tend to sort of break when they're left in contact with stuff like that, especially track. If you bundle up track and put it away, it comes away quite nicely. So all that talking, let's see if we can get the Princess Royal onto the outer line. Again, it's just such a lovely run of this. I think we'll leave it out on the railway for a little while. I have got some sleeper coaches that need some cleaning, which probably look quite nice with this. I think there was a train set with the sleeper coaches, wasn't there? Sleeper cars and the Princess Royal. So we'll just bring that to a stop there. We'll have a swift look in the 72 catalogue here. We've seen this one plenty of times before. So on page 27 there, we've got the wagon, and it says new R.242 BR Trestrol Wagon with 2 girder loads available mid 72. So we've got a bit of glare on it there. So if I just flip to another page here, so we'll just go a couple of actually just one page further along, we've got that station over roof there. So I think those girder loads are just the sides of that over roof. So quite a nice use of that. So we'll just pop that down. So let's see if we can carefully do that without breaking the catalogue. So we've got the associated price list here, but it's got Hornby Railways on it, which came in that Triangle Hornby catalogue. We've got the date there, 24th January 1972. If we go down to the bottom of the centre column here, we've got the wagon R.242. I know if we look across, I think the page number might be incorrect. I thought we were on page 27, but it's saying 25 there, and it's £1.30. So we'll just pop that down and have a general look over the wagons. Let's have a look there. So if I just pick this one up, this one's got, I left the load on this one, and I've dismantled one. You can see that elastic band. And we've got this beautiful detailing down the sides of the wagon. So remembering this came along very early 60s, this wagon. And it's just such a simple thing to do, isn't it? But I think quite a bit of design work must have gone in and trial and error to getting this with the 3 sets of wheels on either end to run smoothly over that tight radius, because Series 3 was the thing, wasn't it? At the time when these came along. It would be before Super 4, and we can see some code numbers on the bottom. I know we've got R.242, and then we've got, see if we can get that, made in England, and then Triang. But I don't think they've seen a great deal of action, so the couplings are all fairly nice. So all quite rattly though. So we'll just pop that down and we'll see if we can encourage that one to sit on the rails there again. And we'll have a quick look at the load parts. So here we've got the 2 girder sections from the side of one of those over roofs, and they do have made in Great Britain. Let's see if we can get that the right way up. We can get some focus there, made in Great Britain. And then what have we got on here? We got Triang Hornby on the side there rather than the Hornby Railways. So I think both of those are the same deal there. So just have a swift look on there, see if I can encourage that focus to stay put. Sometimes you never can tell till you look at the footage later on. We'll just pop those just out of shot there, and we'll grab hold of the wagon so we can see the moulding and the detailing on the top side there. So this is also used in the NATO range of wagons and the later battle space for various things. So they used it in the range quite a bit. But I do have an earlier one here. Let's just pop that one down and we'll grab this. So this one's in a Triangle Railways box, so much earlier. So effects of a price ticket or something on there. And then we've got the info on the end of the box. What you can hear rattling around on the inside is just a packing rings. Let's have a look on the other end. I don't think we've got any pricing. We do have quite a lot of sellotape on this end of the box though. So we'll pop that box out of the way and have a look at this grey version. I think they're available in a number of shades of grey and sort of bluey grey from what I see. So, sorry, from what I read. I think I just have this grey one and the ones with the girder load. So this is the early one. And again, it's not seen a great deal of use. So I think that some railways, these might have been quite problematic to run if you had sort of complicated curves or the track not being terribly flat, perhaps on the carpet, possibly not the best place to run these wagons. But yeah, quite an interesting thing, a lovely piece of design. But perhaps it would have been better with some of the other associated support, so you could get different loads in, made them a more flexible or more sort of enticing proposition to buy to run on your railway. So I've just got, if I can just grab this, I've put something down on top of it here. I've got the earlier catalogue here. I think this is 61, and we've got how it appears there. So there it is. So again, that just sort of appears in grey, and we've got the info there, and it tells you the length of the model there. It seemed daft not to get this wagon on the rails as well, and I was hunting around for a load, and it suddenly occurred to me I could just use the girders from one of the station roof units. So that's what I've done. If you have a look at the insert picture there, you can see the Triumph Hornby station roof unit R74. They came along 72, I think. I'm not sure how long they persisted, but I think they've been produced in recent times as well with blue girders rather than green. So possibly a reasonably long running model in the range might have sort of gone for a rest and then come back again at a later date perhaps. Let's bring this lot forward and we'll get this wagon on at the back. Let's stop that there. Pop the controls down. We've got the uncoupler here. So let's see if we can get that in there. Nicely apart there. So whip that out of there. There's an awful lot of wheels to keep track of here. We're bound to have an accident with them at some point. Let's pop that in there. Sorry, I'm not looking where I'm going. I'm looking where I'm putting the wagon, and I'm leaving the camera pointing where it was. Let's just swap hands here. So there, we're all in there. They have a slightly hollow, rattly sound about them. Something there doesn't sound right, does it? No, it's all on. It's an unfamiliar sound as I haven't really used these before. So let's give that some power. I've separated the railway, so we should be able to get the Princess Royal running there in the background as well. Let's see how we do with this. See if we can get this to run around a little bit. Just even out and see if it will run nicely by itself. So I'm just going to pop the controls down and we'll follow this around a little. So perhaps we should step back and get the full effect in there. So that would make quite a long train if you had sort of 6 of those, wouldn't it? So perhaps we'll keep a lookout for a few more of those as time moves on. Perhaps some different colours and come up with some different loads perhaps. A job for the 3D printer perhaps. Let's come around above for a little. So this small radius track is quite tight on the Series 3. It's quite impressive that it works so well. Let's just take some power out of that. As that's warmed up, that's definitely begun to charge away by itself. So I think just to finish off, we'll see if we can have the Princess Royal running as well. So we lost the train altogether there. Let's go for some power on the Princess Royal. I just remember now I haven't checked the line that the Princess Royal's running on now for any problems since I reset the points. come over the top again over here. Princess Royal definitely picking up some pace now. I think we're going to have to slow down the Black Five. It seems to continually be picking up pace at the moment. There we go. And there comes the Princess Royal again. I've put those on the railway this week. I found those in a box. These are Hornby double items. They're loads from one of the flat wagons, aren't they? So a couple of those lying around there which weren't attached to wagons. Let's see how we're doing over here now. All looking quite impressive. But I think that's probably about it for this time. If you look back again next time, we'll see if we can have something else interesting from the range to look at. Goodbye now.